Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FortressCraft. I'm AxionEvolved, and today we got to get more advanced. We got to start building out this factory more. We got to work on a lot of stuff. But before we get started, do me a quick favor. Scroll down just a little bit, hit that subscribe button, help me get to my goal of 1,000 subscribers. And with that out of the way, and without further ado, let's get right into this video. So we did quite a bit last time. We got these supplemental lines hooked up, and as you can see, it's actually working out pretty well. We got the gold and nickels practically backed up. Titanium, for some reason, isn't quite as fast. I might want to go down there and check that out, because you see the other one's flowing. Titanium just still not flowing as much, so we'll go check that out. There might be like a compatibility thing or like an output thing that I could optimize better. But we're looking at this guy, and if you recall, I couldn't quite figure out how to get this made into a room. Well, with some clever suggestions, we've got that figured out. So now we've got this as a room, and we just accomplished that by putting the room controller right here in the middle of the room. So it seemed to find everything. I've thrown lights in here, and this is really just to try to help with performance, because like I said, this is like almost 3,000 belts. And it's taken up quite a bit of space. But I've also made a few, let's say, advancements. And I have a few things that I want to try to get done today. And those advancements start over at our new conveyor, or our new lifts, tier 2 lifts that we just made last episode. So here we are. I think this is the titanium one. And you can kind of see the current setup is we just have a pyrothermic generator just powering it. This isn't bad. 128 power per second when it needs power. That's fine and dandy. It's okay if we're using a basic lift, but I have some things that might really help us out, and I'm going to put them on my hotbar right now in the form of, that's right, Mark II solar panels. So we completed the research for Ultra Power Grid. That's the one. Mark IV power core, Mark IV batteries. Actually, we did that too. I think it's the fifth one. The fifth level of Ultimate Power Grid. There we go. Mark II solar panels, Mark II organics, Mark V batteries, Mark V power core chargers. So that will allow us to really have these things be self-sufficient. And I'm just going to throw one on here kind of as an example. And if we look, let's see, when this thing initializes, 405 PPS. So that is about 3.5 of these generators. So, I mean, I can just kind of get rid of them. I can kind of, like for this guy, we can kind of just change where it's feeding and kind of, I don't know, do like this number. Or like realistically speaking, we could just completely dismantle it all, right? We don't, or we won't need it once we've kind of got the new solar panels on there. But I think I'll keep it for now, right? Because we also have something else that is kind of a big deal, and it'll take going back to the factory real quick to show you what I mean. So when we were building these lines, you can see that a big component of this is crystals, crystal deposit, crystal clocks. You'll notice that I've got these what seem to be input hoppers coming up here. This is actually just a dedicated crystal clock maker I made. This is for advanced machine blocks, right? Advanced. Yeah, advanced. And we got hardened over there. So we need crystal. That's just all there is to it. We need to have a dedicated crystal line. So if you come down here, you can see I have this guy right here. Now, when you look in there, there is a line coming in here. And that is because I have actually set it up with its own lift. So let's go over to that lift and I'll show you what I mean. And by set up with its own lift, I really mean I just dug a big hole. Yep, that's it. So I want to get that going, right? So I think I got this stuff in here, right? Got some rack rails. We'll throw those there. I need the controller, the lift controller, right? So that's this little, right? 1, 2, 3. So we'll just do it right there. And to kind of show you where we are, we're literally right next to the gold. So the hole for it, I think, is somewhere over here. Yep, right there. And what I want to do though is I want to throw one of these on here. Just kind of do all the work for me. Hopefully it can see the sun. Gotta wait for that. All right, so that's collecting. No problem there. All right. So now the only thing left to do is really, I got to get those rack rails kind of flow into it, right? So we'll clear this out just to make a little bit of room. It might be kind of nice just to have a little bit of headroom to work around a little bit. But I need to, do I have a bigger hopper? Eventually, oh, I have 500 slaughters right there. Let's replace that because I want to just be able to throw a bunch of rack rails in and let it kind of just do its thing. And it looks like it's got plenty of power. So that's definitely not going to be an issue. Bottom will do load, you know, we'll do load all. So let's, while that's kind of doing its thing, we can head down to the cold caverns because I've done a little bit of prep work, but there's definitely still more to do. And we can kind of solve that right now. And so the easiest thing I think is just to come from the gold because the gold gives us kind of a straight shot. If we go and look, it's just right over here. So this is kind of the area that I've identified that I want to mine out of. Now, this I think is about 1 million. Yeah, so this is a little over 1 million. We got this guy right here who's not part of it, and this is 2.7, and then this one's probably like another 100 or something. Yeah, so between all of that, that's like plenty of crystals. So what we need to do, we need to just set this up to mine, right? And I've got this power right here, so that's kind of nice. Oh, nice. These already made it down. Perfect. Okay, so let's get a hotbar going. You know what? I'll get all that stuff later. So we need those. We're gonna need hoppers. And I think I'm gonna have to use, geez, I'd really like to use a 500 slaughter. Maybe a 500 and a 100. So we'll do that. We'll do that. Not belts. I've made, where are they? I've made transport pipes just for such an occasion. And we'll need some small storage hoppers because we are going to need, let's see, batteries. Because we're going to need some drill bits. In fact, I'm going to go to the other crystal deposit. And we set this thing up at like the beginning of the playthrough. I'm just going to take this, take that, try to grab all these guys. Can't grab them all, but that's fine. I'll come back for those. And we'll just, because we need the cutter heads, right? We're going to need the cutter heads to mine the crystal successfully. So at some point, I'll set up like an optimized or like an automated way of getting all that stuff down to here. But for now, we're just going to do it this way, right? So let's see here. I think it can take, so instead of the 500 slaughter, I'm going to do the 2000 slaughter. I think it can just take from right there, right? So then we'll go like this, because this is the footprint for that. And here is the power. So we're going to do this number, but then we've got to think, there's like a couple things we got to think about. So we can do that, and I've got cutter head motor. So we're going to need an output, so we can just do that. And actually, like, I think this part's very simple, right? So we can just do down, over, and just connect, right? That done, easy, no problem. But I want to set something up for the cutter heads too. So, how am I going to do this? I'm going to have to actually swap this out. I need this to come out a little bit. Like this. Just like that. And the reason I need that is because I need somewhere for these other hoppers to go that are remove only. And from within them, I'm going to put the cutter heads. So I'll put those there. I'm going to grab more. I'm going to get enough to fill both of these guys up. Okay, so that net me 6 total. So that should be enough for the ones that are in each of the the miners and these hoppers right here. So that's kind of all we need for that. This guy should fill up. In fact, I'm going to just like top this off with all of the crystal I have on me. I'll go deposit the rest. But yeah, that's like just a super easy way, and I can utilize all this stuff right here. Make sure no camo bots can get in there. And then I can just kind of drop down to the gold right here and teleport back. But let's actually check out the titanium, because I'm wondering if that is not as optimally set up as it could be. Okay, so it looks like we got no drill motors in these guys. That sucks. But also, I think what I can do, right, if I get rid of that, and I do get that 500 slaughter, and I get rid of that, I could just do that. Add only sharing on. And then this should output a little bit faster. I think the other ones just had motors in them, and this one just didn't. Maybe I just forgot. But now they got motors, so that should really help this. It's set to load all, so I'm wondering if that is kind of the issue. But that should at least help for the time being. And hopefully, you know, we hit another, like another vein or something with our quarries. So that just really helps speed things up. All right, so let's get back to the surface, because we got some other stuff to do. So now that this has hit its depth, let's throw the minecart, or the lift in there. Load all, unload all. So that should go do its thing. We do need some more for it to offload, right? And for that, I'm going to deliberately use 100 slot hoppers that are all set to share. And then I'm going to have this kind of come back in like that. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to make this process a little bit slower, so that the miners down there kind of have some time to build back up. And is this guy coming back up yet? Yeah. All right. So this is coming up. So that's nice. Let's also, while we're here, redo how this guy's going, because I think, or you know what? You know what? Let's just go full solar. We're going green on this one, you know? And then that would be all of them with solar panels. Boom, just like that. And then I could also, I guess I could reuse this infrastructure. That means we'll have more coal for other things. And yeah, it's kind of a win in my book. Something I didn't think about before I got rid of this stuff was that this was running on generator power. But these are collecting at 22, and this is only sending 20 anyway. So these should be able to power that no problem, and then we're not reliant on coal. So that's just unintended consequence that actually is probably just going to work out fine for us. All right, so now we got this back to just a line that we can use for something else. And I've started actually I made a bunch of manufacturing plants, and I've started just kind of throwing them around everywhere, so that whenever I'm just kind of somewhere randomly, I can use a manufacturing plant, and it's worked out kind of nicely. And one of the things I made with those is this guy right here, Geological Surveyor. And this thing's pretty cool, because what you can do is you can kind of like plop it down somewhere, and then you can toss some power onto it. And once it starts getting power, it will start telling you what is kind of below everything, right? So you can see there's coal, there's a ton of smeltable ore. In fact, like 1.3 million smeltable ores, which is kind of crazy. And it's like 600 plus meters. So that just tells me that we should go into the inventory and find, where was it? This guy right here, and put another basic quarry down right there, you know? And then I don't know, let me see like what direction I got to be facing, because it's always like, it's always interesting to me. I think this way? God, it's so hard to tell. Because I don't want it to make, I don't want it to make the thing in the wrong direction, you know? I can't tell. I can't tell on any of these. You know what? I guess we'll just give it a shot. I'll make a bunch of the blocks here, and we'll just kind of see what happens. Okay, so I guess I'm just going to throw 10 in, and we'll see which way they make. Oh, that's promising. That's promising. Okay, it looks like that's the right direction. Did it actually just need 40? That's outstanding. Okay. So then, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, a fifth quarry output. Finally, another quarry. Okay. So we'll just need to kind of copy this setup. And of course, like get it going with all the stuff. And then once that's hooked up, it should actually start powering. All right, so that coal's coming over and it should start doing something. I wonder if it'll break through my blocks. I'm sure it will. Right? It's got some power. Oh, does it not? I guess it doesn't have enough chevrons? What's going on here? It needed one more. Cool. What's it say now? Confirmed. There it goes. Look at it. Already doing stuff. Okay, so we need to get this thing hooked up, right? And just like that. Like, that is all good, right? This is coal. This is opposite coal. This is smeltable. Opposite smeltable. Crystal we just didn't do. If we get crystal, so be it. It'll come in here. But that should be it. I don't know when it's going to hit some stuff, but it will eventually. But look at that. Finally, we've got 5 quarries going. The first 5, I'll say. 5 of many, right? And then, so now that we've got that, there's one other thing I want to do. We're kind of, oh, look at that titanium going. It's beautiful. There's one other thing I want to do, and it's going to kind of set us up for the future. And really, it's kind of a linchpin for our power production, and it's this guy. Alloyed machine blocks, right? Gold bar and hardened machine blocks. So I'm thinking, right, we got hardened machine blocks over here. That's literally just nickel and titanium. And then this will need gold bars. Okay, so what we'll do is I think we can just transport that over, right? So if we look, I think that's a good, we can plan to output over here, right? So we'll kind of come right there. And we'll just, I like to plan the outputs ahead of time. It just makes it easier, right? Right, but the alloyed machine blocks themselves, I'm going to make in the gold area, right? And we just want the output to be right over there. So we can do that. And that's going to need 15 power per second, which is nothing. Nano, we'll make that add only, but it needs 16 of each. So I'm actually going to have to use 100 slot hoppers. So we can have the gold. Oh, the gold can come in from here. That's fine. We'll have the gold right there. We'll have remove only. Hardened machine blocks will come in here. And then I think I'm going to have to make a hardened machine block crafter. Where is that? Hardened block assembler. No worries there. That's this guy, right? Hardened machine block assembler. We want that to output over there. We'll use little 1 slotters. Add only. Like so. And then we will need to do the same thing. Remove. And this is the no, this is the nickel. Okay, so the nickel is going to come in there. This will be the titanium. Whoop, right there. We'll put it right in line with that. So right there. And then we will hook that up like so. And then we might as well just do the power while we're here, right? So if you haven't noticed, actually, I've really expanded out this factory, cleared out some of the stuff. Tried to make it a little bit more end game, I guess. But we'll kind of see how it goes. I'm hesitant to build the walls over here because, as you can see, we get tunnel nukers, and I don't want to kind of spend the time building all that stuff just to have it get broken, right? So I also have ideas of making this a room as well, but we'll kind of see how that goes. That should line up. Yep. Nope. But luckily we can just do that. Close enough. All right. And then we just go and throw solar panels on there. Right there and right there. And now that should be, once I get the output going. So that will be good. Now I just got to hook it up on the bottom. So let's go do that. All right, we'll just make that shareable. These two are direct hookups. That one's not. But what's really nice is that we have so much gold that it shouldn't be an issue. So let's see. Let's kind of make sure. All right, so we got hard machine blocks. We've got some gold bars finally. It's just waiting for its thing. Okay, now the reason hard machine blocks, they're kind of like a bottleneck in the factory. And let me show you. Let me just set up the output so it starts collecting, because I don't want to. Or I'm sorry, advanced machine block. No, these are alloyed machine blocks. Right? Alloyed MBs. Okay, if we look, there's quite a few recipes, right? First off, power. Alloyed machine blocks, power storage blocks Mark III. And if you look, Mark IV components, that's power storage block Mark III. So we're going to need a ton of those anyway, right? I think even like turrets, alloyed machine blocks. What else? Turbines. No, turbines need advanced machine blocks, which we've made quite a few of. So that's good. That's probably going to be the next episode where we kind of get that going. What else? I know there's probably other stuff. Look, forced inductions, alloyed machine blocks. Anything higher than tier or Mark II, alloyed machine blocks, right? So quite a few things, alloyed machine blocks, laser energy transmitters, right? Alloyed machine blocks are like the building block of everything that we're going to want, right? And we still don't have one yet. Is everything okay? Are we outputting? What is going on? Hardened, gold. Oh, it just. Well, it would have helped if I got it configured right. But I'm actually like very happy with how fast these are pumping out. And there we go. That is our first one, first alloyed machine block. That's super nice. That's kind of the beginning of really kind of getting this factory where we need it to go. And with that, you know, we can really, I think the next thing, there's a couple competing priorities in my head right now. Number one is the resin farm. We really need to get the resin farm going so that we can create the fuel for all the power that we're going to do, that we're going to need. And then with that comes turbines and blah, blah, blah. I think the first couple turbines I'm going to have to dedicate to the resin farm, right? And then, has this already hit coal? No. Oh, it's just so beautiful how much this is like just going. Makes me so happy. And it's just, they're just full. Look at it. Look at this digging. It's doing its thing. So the first couple ones, and then, we're going to have to design this too. We're going to have to figure out how exactly. I never started harvesting with the induction charger because, I don't know. I just didn't get around to it. And now that we're so close to having turbines and Mark IV batteries, it's basically not worth it. So getting the resin farm up to speed is going to be a fun adventure. I think it's going to definitely be an adventure. And then setting up, we're going to have to figure out where to put our refineries too. Oh man. Or did I say, I thought I said maybe I have it like somewhere over here. This guy's kind of a pain. I might blow it up just to get him out of the way. And then, so maybe refinery somewhere over here, because the refinery is going to remake the fuel for all this. We're going to need like a resin processing, which maybe goes in here. I guess that's part of the refinery too, right? One part of the refinery is going to need to make high energy composite fuel. One's going to need to make plastic pellets, or maybe I'll just have plastic pellets be a manual one. I don't know. Either way, we can power them with solar panels, especially like the organic ones, like these guys right here, which I could in theory make soon. I need more crystal clocks, but You know, just we're so close. And then, you know, gotta like get rid of that guy. We'll probably have to clean it out just a little bit, but maybe I won't clean it out all the way. I'll just kind of nestle the turbines into the walls here, because what I did before is I just used Mark IV batteries as wall components. So when you went in here, and the videos of me doing the resin farm before are on, they're in the season 1 playlist from when I did it before. And then, so if you want to watch that before I actually get around to doing it here, just so you can kind of see the strategy, yeah, they're right there. But essentially I had like 9 of these squares gone, and one face of the battery was the Mark IV battery. But I may do something a little bit different so that we can get closer. I don't know. There's so many options. You know, I could have the battery. Actually, I think I did have like a battery down here that like had lasers going up. Maybe I actually had the batteries inside. I don't remember. I might have to go watch that myself just to double check. But in either case, it's going to be a little bit. I might have to kind of build up the materials in between episodes to get enough turbines, enough batteries, enough enough of the refinery, or not the refineries, the resin handling equipment, you know, like the ablaters and all that. And then on top of it, I need to make Mark III turrets, because we are getting like attacked pretty hard. These guys aren't that big of a deal. It's the bigger guys. I don't think we have any inbound right now, but they've definitely killed my CPH a couple times, and this little outcropping wasn't enough. So Mark III batteries, Mark IV batteries, turrets, lasers, like there's just quite a bit that I still need to do. Moving this whole set, you know, this is just one reactor vat. We can put like 10 and have things process much faster. Just so many opportunities. We can get rid of this whole thing and just make it a turbine with fuel. You know, the possibilities are really endless. But what also excites me is that with this new power infrastructure that we're going to be capable of using, we could even start replacing belts with matter movers. And I think we have access to quite a few high-speed matter movers now. You know, we got duals, which that's 300 a minute. And yeah, it's only 32 meters, but that's crazy. 32 or 300 per minute. That's twice as fast as these belts, you know? Like, what's that doing at? 22 a minute? What's this doing? What's this guy doing? 100 a minute. I think that might be the belt's max throughput. In fact, does it tell me? Conveyor pipes do... Well, they don't say. I have to look it up. If you know, let me know down in the comments about just how fast these things can do. Because if we can get matter movers, oh man. And what's also nice is, like, for example, we would have like a series of matter movers right here in the corners to change direction. I can just replace the bottom with an induction charger, go underneath, put turbines on there, and that's how it's all powered. So we don't even have to see any of the infrastructure up here. I can go under these induction chargers, and instead of using the coal, you use turbines. It's just, it really like changes the dynamic for the whole playthrough. And then on top of that, and we can start using higher tier force inductions. Essentially just, we'll start blasting through stuff, and then we can start making things in mass, you know? And so that's kind of, that's why I'm so excited about where we are in this playthrough. We're kind of just slowly ticking off boxes, but those alloyed machine blocks, right? I think that, yeah, alloyed machine blocks, this guy. Yeah, alloyed machine blocks are the catalyst to speed and all that kind of stuff. So I hope you guys are as excited as I am about the future there. There's one of my new babies right there. And I think we're going to call it an episode here. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope to see you all in the next one. And with that, we'll see you.